there was an interview given by the CEO of Uber, who's a friend of yours, Dara.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read this excerpt, which was absolutely perfect. And he was talking about uh, contemplating, should I take this job or not? Like, this is a huge opportunity, but also like kind of scary. And this is tied to your idea that you should optimize for impact over happiness, which is I haven't heard anybody else articulate that. And so Dara says, I was reading about all the issues happening with Uber in the news, the various challenges that were coming up there. So when I first got the call to be the CEO, I said, heck no, I'm not crazy. I'm not up for this. But I had one particular conversation that really shifted me, which was with Daniel Ek, who's a good friend. And I still remember I was talking to him about my career at Expedia and how happy I was. And he looks at me, and he did this to me too. And he looks at me and he goes, since when is life about happiness? It's about impact. You can have an impact on Uber, which is a really important company in the world that's shaping the future of cities. And I thought to myself, my God, this is so obvious. I've got to take a shot. I knew it was going to be uncomfortable. Can you just explain how you think about optimizing for impact over happiness and why?
Well, first off, it's incredibly kind of Dara to say that. Um, you know, I think about this. I think happiness is a trailing indicator of impact, and I think it can be, you can feel happiness in small bursts, in small moments, and you can have a lot of variance in your life. So you can choose to have that part, which is the ups, the downs of life, etc. So I'm not saying you can have happiness, but I think truly sustained happiness comes from impact. And impact is something that's deeply personal to you. Only you can define what impact means for you. So I think it means different things for different people. But I do think it's a trailing indicator. So the way I would put it in this case is, what was obvious for me with someone like Adara was he was content. He wasn't happy. And, he had gone through a phase, knowing him for a while, where he had a lot of ups and downs with Expedia and all that stuff. And he kind of mostly figured it out. He was running on the downshifted down to the easy gear. Life was good.
Yeah.
It was really easy. But there was an element of him, and you could hear it in his voice, where he's sort of like, okay, well, you've always been running on a higher gear. Do you want to, gear up even more to an extreme level? Why aren't you going to go for greatness? Why aren't you going to test yourself? Because if you succeed, this could be huge. And you really don't get many of these chances in your life. And so much of the conversation was really around that. But with another person, I might have given a totally different piece of advice. So I don't think it's a universal truth. But I do think the universal truth is that happiness trails impact. But impact is something that's highly unique. It could be something innate in you. It could be having impact on other people. It could be, having impact by being a great father around your kids. I don't pretend to know that I think that there's one game to play or one universal truth to life. I certainly believe from entrepreneurial types that probably more to myself, that more like myself, that this is sort of one of those sort of key things is really consider impact.